This is how to get twist controls, advanced twist controls working for a spline IK system. So I just have a spline IK snake here, and if I rotate this control here, you see it twists the whole body of the snake. So when you get your spline IK all set up, what you can do is you can select your IK handle. So in my outliner I have it under here. This is an IK handle that just gets created when you set up the spline IK. And there's this twist thing here, twist attribute, and we can increase this and decrease this, and it'll more or less, twist the body of the snake. But we want more control of that. Like before, we would just rotate this and have it twist. So there's a little bit of setup we can do. First, we go to our IK handle, open up our attribute editor, and down under IK solver attributes, and then advanced twist controls, we want to enable twist controls. I think by default this is set to total here, this twist value type, but we'll change that in a minute. First, you want to make sure that your forward axis and your up axis are set correctly. So for this, if I go to my joints, my skeleton here, and I select one of my joints, we can see X, it's moving along in the X. So for the IK handle, the forward axis is X, and then the up axis for this joint is Y, or is Z, negative Z. So it's, this is Z is pointing down, so the up axis is up. So I think by default it's set to positive Y, but my snake was sideways when I did that, just because of the way I oriented my joints. So depending on how you did that, you might have to change this until it's facing the right way. So then after you do that, in the twist value type, we're going to set this to start and end. And what this allows us to do is change the twist relative sort of to the whole spline IK. So if we set 360 on the start, so the left one is the start and the right one is the end twist. And so this is basically how much we're twisting around the start of the spline, So this is like 360 is one turn around, and then we can just like increase that to 500, so you can see us twisting up. So what we can do is we can take the rotation value of our controls, and we can actually plug them in to the start and end twist to let us control how much twist is happening with the controls. So we'll go to our let's see where it's at. Let's go to our channel editor, and we'll open up our connection editor. There it is. I think this is also in Windows, General Editors, Connection Editor. And we'll take our IK handle, and we'll just reload this to the right side. And we'll take our control, and we'll reload this to the left. And so we want to take our rotate, well, let's find out which rotate this is actually. So it looks like it's rotate Z, oh no, rotate X, sorry. Because my rotate is set to worlds. Okay, yeah. So rotate X. So when we rotate on X, we want that value to be put into the twist for the IK handle. Now, depending on how you have this set up, your left display may have a whole bunch of these, and so you can do left display show non-keyable, and that'll, or uncheck the show non-keyable, and that'll only show you stuff that like shows up in the channel blocks editor here. But on the right side, we do need to actually show non-keyable, because we need to go down to the very bottom, and we should be able to find something called, here it is, D-twist start end. And if we hit the plus button next to it, we have the start and the end values we can plug stuff into. So if we take our rotate X and we just click on D-twist start, and we go back to our attribute editor, we can see now that this is yellow, and that means that we have a connection from our and the connection is from the rotate to the start value. So when we rotate this, it's going to twist the snake, or whatever IK you have set up. So we can now just select our last control, reload the left, take the rotate X of this and plug it into the twist end. And now when we rotate this control, it also, let me hide the skeleton, rotates the snake. So one thing I noticed with this is when you rotate from the front, the head doesn't seem to be skinned properly. I don't know if this is just an issue with my skinning or not, but it seems like the first joint doesn't get rotated similarly, or this like the same way as all the other joints. So what we can do is we can just go to our skin weights tool, and I'll just select these. I'll just skin it to my second bone, and that more or less fixes the problem. And it still looks good enough. There's probably a better way to do that, but I'm not sure what it is. So that's setting up the twist controls for, or the advanced twist controls for Spline IK.